we had a very hard time. If I hadn't sold my company previously, I don't see how I would have been able to make ends meet because businesses shut down. Everybody basically pulled in their spending, in particular digital ad spending at that time, post the dot-com crash. And I looked at that as a vaccine for later on in life. It was so painful that I told myself that, I'm going to make it through this no matter what. A lot of employees, all of which I kept, and I said, yes, we'll make it through, but we'll make sure that this can never happen to us again. So we took some very strong preventative measures, financial measures, basically, first time in my life at age 31, I realized there were market cycles. Before that crash, I thought, look, it can only go up from here, right? So for all of the entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs who have never actually experienced a market crash, the only thing I can say, it's not if, it's a matter of when it will happen. And you are either ready or you aren't ready. In 2001, I certainly was not ready. I expected this to continue on the uptrend like everybody else did, at least everybody my age. And I was in for a rude awakening. However, on the brighter side, the second downturn we had was in 2008, and we barely felt it as a result of taking those preventive measures of saying, look, we know it's going to happen again. We want to make sure that, yes, it will affect us like everybody else, but we will be ready to withstand what's happening until it is over. That's exactly what happened. And today, during COVID, very much a similar thing, where we built obviously, over the years, a small treasure chest to be able to withstand pretty much anything. And in the first 2 months during COVID, I didn't hear from anyone, right? The phones would stop ringing, no more emails coming in, no more leads coming in from anywhere, where we just, told my team guys, just, this is not my first rodeo, just, this is normal. This is human behavior. Just sit back and just wait it out. Okay, see some younger guys getting nervous and girls getting nervous. My leads are not coming in. What am I going to do? Is my job safe? Yes, your job is safe. Just wait it out. And then I'd say about 2 months in, for no particular reason, one weekend, phones started ringing, emails started coming in on the same weekend. First thing I did is I went on Google News and see what the latest breaking news was. Couldn't find any in particular, because I thought that, maybe somebody announced the vaccine, or who knows what happened. But no, there was nothing there. And when I asked my clients, it's like, what made you wake up today? They said, well, I realized that, after a couple of months, we're still alive and probably going to be still alive sometime in the future. So it's time to get back to work. And those were mostly North American clients, American and Canadian, who tend to be more aggressive, I would say, than people in France, many of which are still obviously afraid about what may happen, especially with the second COVID variant coming from your shores, apparently. Who knows where it's originally coming from? That's all you see in the news today. But I told everybody, shut the news down and, wear your mask when you're in public, use the hand sanitizer downstairs, and you can go back to work, right? So like most, going back to startups and what makes a startup successful, if you look at the history of startups, it's always been during those downtimes, during tough times, that the smartest people have come forward with real solutions to real problems. Every time that times are plentiful, and I'm looking back right now at probably 1999, 2000, we've probably all heard the saying, party like it's 1999. I was in some of those parties, very, very lavish parties, and you were wondering what we were celebrating, right? .com companies with large investment money flowing in, the first thing they would do is throw a big party. It's nice, you can go have a party, but I didn't know what for. So what we're seeing now is we're seeing startups, some of which we're working with in particular as well, that instead of working on vanity projects, right, like building another social network for who knows what, right, are actually trying to solve real problems, such as onshoring of certain production projects, 3D printing, so we don't have to import products out of China, for example. You can print them right on, travel technologies, new travel technologies, including AR and VR enhanced travel products, because we're in no position to travel as freely as we did before, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. On every single level, we're seeing a massive disruption by way of technology that I don't think we would have seen if COVID hadn't happened.
You mentioned in 2008 you put some preventative measures in. Can you tell me, or can you share in general what they are?
Yeah, actually, very simply, it was primarily on the accounting side, on the finance side. So, we typically set aside certain budgets for R&D, like most companies do, research and development, reinvestment into certain initiatives, including new initiatives, what we call moonshots, things that may never happen, but we're going to invest a little bit of money just trying it out. Knowing that in all likelihood we will fail, but that in the very unlikely event where we don't fail, that moonshot may actually happen. And we try to basically, we just reallocated some of those dollars into a piggy bank for a rainy day, for lack of a better term, right? So reined in a little bit on the aggressiveness, I'd say, and basically reallocated some of those funds instead of reinvesting them into projects, just setting them by the side, almost like an insurance program.
So you're essentially preparing for the next time it happens rather than not expecting it to.
Right, knowing that, again, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when it will happen.
I might be wrong, but I think it's every 7 years on average that we see a recession. Yeah. Is that about right?
Yeah, so it used to be every 7 years. You're absolutely right. And more recently, what we're seeing is that the cycle is accelerating. And it's accelerating at such a pace that by the time we enter a recession today, we may already be out of it.